Hey there, I'm Christine. I am living and working as a teacher at an international school in Bangkok, Thailand. And I've always enjoyed cooking a little bit, but when I got here, the inspiration of the food, yum, that's here and all of the amazing available ingredients, the produce, the spices, the herbs, the fish, the seafood, it's just amazing. And so I just wanted to share with you some of the adventure that I am going on. So hopefully you will enjoy what I'm doing here and maybe take a little adventure yourself. So one of the Indian offerings that they have is something called Kachumber Salad. And you may have heard of it, Kachumber Salad, with a K or with a C. And it's made with cucumber, Kachumber. I don't know. I think it means, I wrote down somewhere, actually Kachumber, I believe, is a Hindi word that means a mixture or a salad. And so that's what this is. It's just a nice, fresh, cold, refreshing salad with different. The main ingredients are the cucumber, tomato, and onion, and some. Where did I put that? Anyway, I'm reading notes. Cucumber, onion, tomato, and red chili peppers. And red chili peppers they're kind of optional. It's great with cilantro or coriander leaves. Same thing, I found. So with that, and also some lime juice, salt and pepper. It's amazing. So that's what I'm going to show you here is my own interpretation of Kachumber salad. So hang in there and I will show you what we got. So let me show you what I'm going to be using today in the Kachumber salad. So like I mentioned before, cucumber for sure, cucumber, onion, tomatoes, cilantro. Now here they call it coriander. And coriander, if you want like the seeds, the coriander seeds, you have to say coriander seeds. Cilantro, nobody knows what the heck that is, but I love some cilantro. Came with the root on it. Isn't that fun? Anyway, so I have some more in the fridge in a little cup of water and covered with plastic. Hopefully it'll last for a while. So anyway, so those are the four main ingredients, I think, and then also, of course, some red chili peppers and some lime. Now, I have lime juice up here because what I got, just so I could check them out, is the kaffir lime. These grow everywhere around here. They're pretty hard and they don't have a lot of juice in them, but I'm going to use for the zest. Use the lime for the zest, and then I'm going to cut it up and like drop it in some, I don't know, some tea, not real tea, but drop it in some boiling water, get some more lime or a curry or something like that. Just get some zest off of that and then see what else I can do with it. So I do have some lime juice to use. Now I also I love to use fresh ginger and all things that I make here if I can. And so instead of chopping it up and getting a piece of ginger in my tooth and have it be my teeth and have it be so spicy, before I came here, really the only ginger I had experience with was the ginger that I had with my sushi. And that's pickled ginger that you have with your really hot wasabi and the soy sauce, and I love that. But if you slice this and then just take a bite, I did that. It's really spicy. So I'm going to take a little finger and skin it, peel it a little bit, and then just grate it and kind of dissolve it in some of the lime juice as a dressing. So I also have carrots. Yeah, I have a carrot, and I'm not going to be able to use that whole thing, probably half of that. I do have some more cucumbers in case I just get crazy. I might use 2 cucumbers and 1 carrot. I don't know. And this, guys, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like 2 pounds. This is a radish. Yes, it is. It's a radish. So anyway, so definitely not going to use that whole thing. I'm going to be cutting it and then using, I don't know, maybe a third of it The rest of the radish, and even the small radishes, I have tried cooking, just throwing it in with other vegetables and cooking. It's amazing. It tastes so, it loses that sharpness and becomes just a really nice vegetable, really nice addition. You should try it in your mixed vegetables, whatever you're doing. I love a crunch of a bean sprout. These you don't have to like chop up or anything, just throw them in there. These are really, really yummy. Any kind of sprouts you could throw in there. That's really good. And onion, I said, and so that's it. And salt and pepper. And also I'm gonna cheat with some curry powder. They don't really use curry powder in curries in India or in Thailand. They don't really use curry powder. They use all of the other, curry powder is actually made up of dried ginger and garlic and maybe some chili flakes, onion, all of those things that go into a curry. And I think it's, I don't know what turns it orange. Maybe I think it's the ginger once it gets cooked and dried. So anyway, I'm just gonna, I like the taste of it, so I'm gonna put that in there too. So that's what I'm gonna use. Sometimes, I'll put over here, sometimes it just depends on what vegetables I have. If I don't have any carrots, I'm not worried about it. Then I just use something else. So if I don't have radish, that's fine. I could use I got some wonderful things. I could use like some, what are these, snap peas? Use some snap peas. Oh, what else did I get? Oh, some little baby corn. Those are really nice raw. Any vegetable that you like raw, you could like chop up some, I don't know, some bell peppers and throw them in there as well. So just a few different vegetables, as long as you have the cucumber and you have the onion. I've done it with, yeah, onion is kind of necessary. Cucumber, onion, and some cilantro if you like cilantro. Otherwise, like some parsley, something fresh. Even basil, some fresh basil. A nice fresh herb is really wonderful. Tomatoes really make it. So those are kind of, and then just add. I have radish, carrot, bean sprouts. Whatever you have on hand is fantastic. And some nice curry powder is a little cheat, just to give you some of that fragrance of Thai, Indian. It's not Thai, this is Indian, of Indian food. Okay, so as I chop, I will try to keep a lookout for how much I'm actually putting in of each of these, so I can give you some sort of a measurement. I will put measurements in the little recipe card in the video. I just would, like I said, it depends on what I have on hand, and what I'm feeling and what looks good, and that's what I include and how much of it I want. So I just keep chopping and keep throwing in a bowl until I can't put any more in the bowl. That's how I cook. Or this isn't even cooking. There's no cooking involved. So anyway, but I will give you some measurements. It's about equal part of all of the major vegetables, and then how much onion you like. Sometimes it's different. Spring onion is a good option as well, or scallions, if you want to call them that. Scallions, spring onions, instead of the yellow onion or a red onion that looks beautiful. So anyway, and red chili pepper if you want. Again, you could use a red chili flake if you want instead, or not any of that at all if you don't want to. So I'm gonna chop and just start throwing them in, and kind of try to keep an eye on how much I'm doing of each one. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this monster, this radish. It's just so yummy. I am going to, I don't know what I said, about a third, about like that. I'm gonna start with that, see what happens. Now, you can chop it any way you want. If you like small pieces, if you want round slices, then you'd want to probably cut that and have it so round. But if you want matchsticks, or if you just want, some little, I just like little pieces. There's some hairs left on there. Not hairs, radish. These big radishes come with, they have some little, like my little menopause hairs that grow out of my cheek sometimes that come out of this. So I'm just going to, let's see, I'm probably going to cut this. It's so wide. This one's a very large one. Cut it into thirds, and then just kind of cut down the side, and just make it into little bite-sized pieces, little smaller, little bite-sized pieces. And then what you want to do is just use about the same shape and size of whatever it is that you're going to include, and then it just all matches. It's a little matchy. So I just chop and throw it in the bowl as I go. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I finished what I'm going to use with the radish. Set that up over there, and it looks like it's 1 cup plus that I did when I measured it. It's about a cup. And so this has been washed. I don't like to peel vegetables myself. I just think there's just so much more to them. I do wash them, scrub them down. This one came that way. It was very nice that they had cleaned it already. So I just had to rinse it. And so I'm just going to, what should I do? I'm just gonna take half of it, a little more than half. I don't know, that's about half. This side is thicker. Oh, it's so dense. So because it's so large, I'm gonna have to cut down the middle, and then cut some pieces from that. If it's like a normal, if you're in North America and you have a normal carrot, then you probably can just cut it into like little slices, little circle slices. So I'm gonna cut them like that. That'll give me about a cup. I'm really bad at eyeballing, so I'll measure. And if I need some more carrot, I will, so that I have the same amount of carrot as I do radish, as I do cucumber. All right, so that's my cucumber. It's a little bit more than the other ones, but heck, it's the heck. What the heck is that? What the heck is that? The cucumber is the star of the salad, so have a little bit more, that's okay. Now I did the same thing with the cucumber. All I did was wash it. I don't mind the cucumber skin or in the seeds. So that's what I do. So if you want to peel it first, or do those little half peel slices on it or whatever, that's perfectly fine, obviously. Or you can find the seedless kind of cucumbers and use those. This is just a regular cucumber. So I just chopped it, I washed it, and then just chopped it with the skin, with the seeds, threw it in. Love it. Now, the last vegetable that I have, well, it's a fruit, isn't it? Is tomatoes. So what I'm gonna do is get out a very generous cup of cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, beef steak tomatoes, whatever you have. It's just tomatoey, be tomatoey. So you want to get some tomatoes. I want to cut them because I want the juice in my salad. So I'm gonna have them, and I like to cut them down the center so that the bones in there kind of stay, they don't come apart, and the juice, there's a lot of juice. You've opened up the segments, so it'll just kind of get all juicy in the salad. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna start on the chili peppers and the cilantro. I'm gonna do 2 chili peppers, and I don't know how much cilantro. Coriander leaves is cilantro. I almost forgot that I'm also chopping some onion. Now I'm gonna be putting in 2 onions because they're so tiny. These are so tiny. And I like to have an onion in every bite. So I'm gonna chop this up, and again, this is by taste, but it probably should be about a half a cup of chopped onion is what I'm gonna do. Well, maybe a little more, 3/4 cup, a little bit less than the veggies. And let me mention, with the onions, what I'm doing is a little bit of a rough chop, so that otherwise, if you chop it up real nice and little, like a mince, then you're gonna end up with all of the little pieces falling to the bottom of the salad. So not quite as big as the other vegetables, really. Maybe you could, but I'm gonna do a rough chop. I slice it down. I slice them in half, cut off one end, keep the root end together, slice down a few times, And then just kind of chop, just, you know, 1/2 inch, watching your fingers. Get down to the root and then fold it over. Then you tip it over and then just kind of chop off a little bit of onion there at the end by the root. And there you go. So almost done here, and then I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do the chili peppers and the cilantro. For the cilantro, I'm just gonna cut it off the stalks like this, and then just cut it up with the stems and everything, because they're very tender and they have such wonderful flavor. So I'm just gonna do that and then just chop it up. There's my 2 red chili peppers. Should throw them in. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna throw these in there too. Yes, I'm putting the seeds in there because, you know, I want to burn my face off. I might regret that, but I'm just doing it. So there. So here's the cilantro. Just gonna tuck my fingers under and then guide my knife down and just slice as I go. Like I said, with the stems and everything, all the way down. And if you get them small enough, it's not like you're gonna be eating sticks. They're not woody. Yes, I'm being careful. And then just go across again. Some nice coriander leaves, cilantro. So how much is that? I don't know, it's a big handful. Oh, smells like home, smells like Texas. Love it. I love it. I love cilantro. I had the hardest time finding it, like I said, because they call it coriander here, and some of you may be like, well, duh, it's coriander. Well, I didn't know. And so when I finally found it and I got it home and I put my face in it, took a leap and I chewed on it, I almost cried. I didn't know I loved it so much. It's crazy. So, fresh ginger. So what do they call it? A thumb. They call it a thumb because look, they look like, you know, little appendages. So very carefully with your other fingers out of the way. I don't know what to grab. I'm just gonna try to cut this piece off. I learned today, you can freeze these things. Leave the skin on and just put it, I'm gonna put it in a bag and put it in the freezer. And then when you need it, you get it out and you cut off a hunk, put it back in the bag, put it back in the freezer. See how long that lasts. You should be able to peel this. You're supposed to be able to peel it with a spoon. Well, that's certainly safer than trying to do this with a knife, huh? It works. I usually do my knife and it looks very dangerous, so I didn't want to do that when anybody else could see me doing that, although I am telling on myself. So I just kind of get a little piece that's exposed enough so that when I take it to a grater, you know, I mean, the skin's not going to go through the grater anyway, and it's kind of sinewy, it's kind of stringy. Ginger is fresh ginger root. So when you use a grater, I'm going to take this a little bit here. When you use a grater, it keeps the see what happens. It keeps the strings on the other side of the grate, so you don't end up with it in your food. So my handy dandy box graters are a lot easier, I know. So I just take the little side of the grater and grate. I'm gonna grate about a teaspoon, maybe. But see all of that not going through, all of that tough kind of hairy stuff. And if it does go through, it's been grated up and it's nice and tender. So then we've got all this wonderful ginger root there. And here, so I have about a teaspoon with grated ginger, very spicy. So less if you're trying to keep the spice down, a little bit less. And some kaffir lime zest. So I'm gonna just kind of get boy, these are tough. I don't want to get down to into the white. Once you see the white, it's almost too late, right? The white, the pith. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh. You know, like limes do. I love lime zest. So, probably should have done that over the bowl. Sounds like I'm grating pepper. It's all hanging on to the underside of this underbelly. Okay, so I've got all of that goodness I'm gonna put down in there, and that fell on my cutting board. Put that in there. It's probably too much, but like I said, I don't measure anything. So what was that? It probably should be, you know, just the, probably shouldn't have grabbed this one. You know, learning with you guys. Probably should just be the zest of one lime. That sounds more reasonable, right? The zest of one lime. And now I'm going to put this ginger in something. It happens to be in that mixing cup, or not mixing cup, in that measuring cup. And I'm going to take some lime juice, just some plain, straight 100% lime juice that I'm gonna put in the salad, but I'm gonna put it in here with the ginger first and just kind of swish it around so that I can get it, I don't end up with a big chunk of, so what, a couple, 2 teaspoons, probably a couple tablespoons. Yeah, a couple tablespoons of lime juice. Fresh squeeze would be great, but like I said, there's hardly any lime juice, crazily, in a kaffir lime. So I don't have any regular limes right now. So now I'm gonna pour that over. And I almost forgot, one thing that I did last time that made it absolutely over the top was just some extra virgin olive oil. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm gonna try. It's not coming out yet. It's not coming out yet. Now it's just drizzling out just a little tiny bit. There we go. So probably a teaspoon of that. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm just gonna stir it. Oh, salt and pepper. What the heck is wrong with me? What the heck? And curry powder. Fumbling. A little bit of salt. Bring some of the juices out of the vegetables, of the tomatoes and of the cucumbers and the radishes. It draws that moisture out. This salad is one of those things that it's even better the next day. It's fantastic right now, but it's even better the next day. Curry powder to your heart's content. And then nice fresh ground pepper. Can't see it now because I put the curry powder in before. So that's why people put the salt and then the pepper and then whatever else, so you can see it. Now we're gonna stir it up. Beautiful. Beautiful. So there's a lot of the curry powder and the salt and pepper. Curry powder you can see, so you know if it's not like stirred in, then neither is your salt and pepper. So keep going until you don't see any of that kind of plastered on a radish, since they're so nice and white. You don't see that. So we're gonna get it all mixed up nice and good. And I am not gonna get a serving bowl. I'm gonna just use my spoon now that I'm done with it, and get a big spoonful and eat it. Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? It looks so good. It looks so good. Let me get my hand out of the way. Okay, so I want a tomato and a cucumber and a radish and some cilantro because it makes me so happy. I love me some cilantro. There's chili peppers in there somewhere. Oh my gosh, I love that cilantro in there. It makes it so bright. Yes, there are chili peppers in there somewhere. I think I got a seed. It's yummy. Doesn't burn my face off. It's very good. I hope you try this. And it is so forgiving. Just throw stuff in there that you like, that makes you happy. And then have some beautiful salad. I don't know, maybe I'll eat the whole thing. Probably not in one sitting though. Enjoy! A blooper reel maybe? Bean sprouts. Maybe there's too many ingredients if I forget them. Anyway, big handful of bean sprouts. So good.